Kanan thinking killed his friend?
The only person he ever thought could have done it was his mom's. He just gets so angry with Rock. He thinks everything bad that happens to him is because of her.
So we are here at last, man. The season finale of Raising Kanan season 4. I can't believe it's been 10 weeks already. I mean, this season's been flying by. It's been a great season. So many emotions, so many things have been going on, inside and outside of the show. And I'm just really excited for this season finale. I have very high expectations, and I'm sure you guys do as well. And, there's a lot to get into for this video. This is going to be a longer video than usual, so stay tuned. So obviously, like you guys saw in the intro, last episode we did see the death of Crystal, and this scene was everything, right? This is all we needed to know to tell us what's going to happen moving forward. Crystal made a big mistake in revealing any information about Kanan and his thoughts about his mother and what happened with Famous, because this gave Snaps and Pop the ammo to just push Kanan in the direction of Rock for pretty much anything that's going to happen moving forward, and the death of his best friend. And let's just put the cards on the table. We already know the moment that Kanan finds out that Crystal is dead, who's the person he's going to blame? It's going to be Rock, right? We know he's going to blame Rock. We know he's going to be furious, right, with his reaction once he, we see the aftermath of him learning that Snaps and Pop told him that, Rock was the one who killed his best friend. And it's just setting up for all these storylines to kind of break out into fruition, right? We know that Kanan's already been suspecting Rock this entire time for being the one to kill Famous, because he saw her giving money to those dirty cops, which literally had nothing to do with the situation. And I really just brought that up to highlight that these storylines and these deaths are really going to be one of the things that push Kanan away from his mom in the season finale. And I think this is where we're going to finally see Kanan just disconnect from his family entirely. Now, with that being said, we do have some exclusive pictures from the season finale, and I want to break these down and get right into it for you guys. Let's go. So our first look here, we see your boy Kanan. He's at a gravesite, and he looks pissed. He looks angry. I mean, this might be the maddest and most frustrated we've ever seen Kanan in the history of this show, right? He's obviously at a gravesite. It's interesting because we don't really know whose gravesite he's at. I mean, it could be Crystal, it could be Famous, it could be freaking D-Wiz. Like, we just don't know. He's been through so much stuff that it's just out there for speculation, and I can't wait to see this scene and just really dive into what Kanan's going through and some of the decisions that he's going to make off of emotion. Then we see Kanan in a scene with Jukebox, and it seems like they're talking about the Crystal death, and everything that's kind of been going on with Famous, OC, and all of the deaths that have been happening. And I think that Jukebox is probably the one who's going to try to tell Kanan, like, I don't think Rock was involved or did any of this stuff. And I think that's where Kanan's going to kind of have some pushback. And I think this is where this relationship will kind of start to go south, because Kanan's in his feelings, right? He's emotional. He's lost all of these people. He has Snaps and Pops in his ear manipulating him, just controlling him. And, this isn't the first time that this has happened to him, right? Rock manipulated and distraught Kanan the first 3 seasons of this show. So to see this kind of continue and manifest in a different way, I don't think Jukebox is going to want to, believe or buy into any of this. And it's definitely going to cause a rift in the relationship. Then we see Kanan again at the gravesite with what looks to be a rose. So I'm pretty sure this is Kanan's gravesite. And I'm feeling for Kanan, man. I mean, Crystal was a great girl. When you talk about someone who was loyal and who actually helped him and gave him a lot of good information and gave him and just wanted to see him be successful, and honestly one of the few people that he could actually trust, now he's lost that, right? And now, his humanity is out the window, and you kind of start to understand why the OG Kanan was so ruthless and why he hated these dirty cops and everything like that, because look at what they've caused in his life. Look at what they've taken from him. And probably the person that he loved most outside of Jukebox and his mom is gone. So he's going to be on this next episode. Pay attention to Kanan a lot. Then we see a boy, Lou. He looks like his old self. He's back in the game now, and he's probably going to be the number 2 for Rock, because Marvin can't really be trusted right now. He's been making a lot of mistakes, and he honestly has a lot of enemies right now and a lot of people that probably want his head. So Lou is really going to have to be the MVP. He's really going to have to step up for this family. And I said this in previous videos. He's going to have to. This was only going to happen. It was only a matter of time. Lou couldn't just be doing this music stuff. He was going to have to tap into the crime life again when his family needed him, and they're going to need him in this war against Unique. So let's see if he can make it out of this season. Then we see Rock in the scene, and she's probably talking to Marvin or Lou. And look, guys, Rock is going to be going through it in this season finale. This is going to be one of the roughest seasons she's had in the show. Unique is making hella moves, going to be hitting up her Chinese restaurant, going to be hitting up everything that she loves to try to take her down, and she's going to have to really respond. And I don't know if Rock is going to be able to win this one. Let's wait and see. And then we see another scene with Rock and Jukebox, and Jukebox is likely telling Rock everything that's kind of going on with Kanan, what he's going through, and how Kanan pretty much blames her for all the deaths, to OC, to Crystal, to Famous. He thinks that she did all of this. And, Rock's probably trying to reassure her, like, I had nothing to do with this. I want a relationship with my son. I love my son. And this wasn't me. We need to find a way to, get Kanan back on our side. But it might be a little bit too late for that. Then we see a scene with Kanan talking to somebody, and this looks like that same scene that was in the season finale trailer at the end, where Kanan was kind of shaking hands with this person, and everyone is kind of speculating who this person is. A lot of people are saying that they think it's Breeze, and Snaps and Pop are going to kind of make that introduction. And look, I'm not mad at that theory. This is one of the few times where I actually think that could be accurate. Could they finally be bringing Breeze into the picture? I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Let's wait and see. Then we see Unique, and he looked like he's ready for war, right? Phil Russo told him to kind of chill and put a pause on this attack on Rock, but I don't think he gives a fuck anymore. He's at the point where he's just like, I want to take Rock down. I want to take all the chess pieces off the board and just make my moves now. And I think that's what Unique is going to do. I think he's going to completely ignore everything that Phil Russo was telling him and just go make an attack at Rock. And it's going to cost him. Then we see Jukebox once again in the scene with Detective Garcia, and just seeing how Jukebox has kind of gravitated to the feds in this show since the beginning with Burke, it kind of makes sense why she ends up being a dirty cop, because it seems like she has a lot of relationships with feds in this show just from the way they're depicting things. And, I think that kind of foreshadows that she's going to become a dirty cop. So let's see what's going on with this relationship, why she keeps hanging out with him and giving him information or trying to kind of, work with him. Let's see where this goes. Then we see Unique again talking to his right-hand man, and he's likely plotting a move to make on Rock. We know he's going to be hitting up the Chinese restaurants and pretty much just hitting every single fucking piece of Rock's organization till she has nothing left, till she can't move any weight, till she can't do anything. And, this is where we're really going to have to see Rock's resilience. How is she going to bounce back from all of this? Then we see another scene with Kanan, and it does look like he's talking to Uncle Lou, and Uncle Lou's kind of pressing up on him and telling him, your mom ain't do this, right? You're kind of tripping. You need to relax before you make any rash decisions that affect and destroy this family. And I think Uncle Lou's going to be one of the people that's really going to be trying to get to Kanan's ear, like, all this stuff that you've been losing, like, it has nothing to do with Rock, right? And maybe they can kind of, come together and understand that this was Snaps and Pop. They're the ones who are doing this. But it's unlikely that that'll happen, because we know Kanan's going to make some sort of alliance with Snaps and Pop, so it doesn't seem like he's going to find out the truth anytime this season. Then we see another scene with Phil Russo, and he looks pissed off. He's probably realized that Unique is not listening to anything he's saying and is going ahead and trying to start this war with Rock. And I mean, can you really blame him? Unique is unleashed. He's unhinged. He got that CTE. He's going to do whatever the fuck he wants. He don't give a damn about what Phil Russo is talking about. So let's see how Phil Russo kind of reacts to Unique's moves. And finally, we see a scene with Rock and Marvin, and they look like they're going at it. They look like they're having a heated conversation, especially with Rock pointing the finger at Marvin for all the mistakes that he's made, right? She's probably telling him, like, you need to clean up all your mistakes. You've been making way too many mistakes, and this is a situation where we need you, right? We're in this dire war with Unique. Lou's back. We all need to be on the same page if we're going to win this war, or even come out alive from this situation. And, everybody's been saying, well, they think Marvin might die because of some of the mistakes that he's been making this season. I don't know about that. Right? I don't know if I'll go that far as to say Marvin will die. I honestly think that this whole main cast will probably survive going into season 5. And I think season 5 is when we'll really start to see some of these main players getting dropped off. But Marvin and Rock, they're really going to have to get this relationship right. They need to be honest with each other and just be on the same page. Because if they're not on the same page, everyone in the streets is going to pin them against each other. And they're going to just destroy themselves from the inside out like the Tejadas did. So I'm really excited to see this season finale. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, predictions, thoughts, theories, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.